I swear the Brewers find ways. They invent ways to lose games. The last 3 times they've lost, they've self-destructed. We'll talk about that and a few other things as well as the Brewers lose to the Cubs. That's next here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
My, oh my. We've seen some crazy things happen with our favorite Local 9 baseball team, the Milwaukee Brewers. They continue to happen. Last Friday, they throw Matt Williams into a game. A guy who's been giving up home runs left and right. Comes off the injured list. They decide to throw him right in to close the game. They had a little momentum going into that series. Close out a series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, who made that stupid decision? I mean, that's one of the dumbest decisions. That's the dumbest decision of the year. And then Tuesday night, they decide not to bunt Adames and the comedy of errors and extra innings. They lose that game. And then Wednesday night, I can't blame Devin Williams. Not a lot of hard contact there. Brian Anderson, who's like, when I think of Brian Anderson, I think of the guy who's the master of the slow roller to third base, the barehanded pickup, and the throw to first base. How many times has he made that play? Countless plays. Made a perfect throw to first base. Countless times this year he's done that. Okay. 2 runs in, game tied, ground ball. He made the play. And short hop to Owen Miller at first base. Now Owen's got to make that play over there. Okay. Brian B.A. has got to make a better throw. Amazing how in that situation, B.A. has made much tougher plays, but he didn't come up with that one there. And of course, Owen Miller, who's probably playing out of position. I mean, what's he doing at first base to begin with? Because our first baseman not only hitting .213, but he's hurt. I guess. So we'll see. And they lose. All right. The Brewers found a way to lose. We're going to get to all that coming up here in a little bit. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers on the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. Yeah, sometimes I know it's tough to listen to some of this because it's frustrating with the way these guys lose games sometimes. I've been following this team my entire life. Been covering the Brewers for 40 years for AP Radio. Morning sports anchor, 1310 WIBA in Madison. By golly, they're still my favorite team. Did I really say it? By golly. What am I, 90? So, no. The Brewers found a way to lose and disappoint us all. God, I'm just baffled by that one yet. Just am. Last 3 times. They'd be on a nice long winning streak. So they find themselves 2 games out of first place now behind the Reds. Sinking fast, I might add. Thanks for joining us here on Locked On Brewers. Like I said, download this on the various platforms. The audio version, Google, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. We're on all those. Thank you for our growing audience on Locked On Brewers on the YouTube. Search Locked On Brewers, type that in, you'll see us come up. Hit subscribe, hit that bell there if you like. It'll let you know every time we drop an episode. And in fact, on your downloads for the audio version, there's got to be some way that can alert you every time we download an episode there as well, because we are your team every day, Monday through Friday, talking Brewer baseball with you right here. And, just trying to figure out these guys and trying to figure out sometimes their ways of thinking. But follow me on Twitter as well. Appreciate it. I love hearing from you guys, whether you drop comments on YouTube or you take time out of your day to write me on Twitter. I'm telling you, sincerely, I appreciate that. Chuck Freeman, Freimund. I read them all because a lot of you guys, we all think alike. I think regarding the Milwaukee Brewers, we're all frustrated. And when a game like that happens last night, where BA in the locker room after the game says 10 out of 10 times he makes that play. 10 out of 10 times. Well, not last night. But the game tied, extra innings. God, man, these 3 losses, they're just disturbing that they found a way to crumble late in the game to lose. Yeah, they battled back in the last in 2 of them, but my goodness, how do you lose? How do you lose this game? I don't know. Just frustrating. Disappointing. I'm trying to make sense of this whole thing here. How you lose these games? I mean, is it just bad luck? Is that what it is? I mean, the Milwaukee Brewers, are we just snake bitten? Is it just a case where, it's just not in the cards, literally, no pun intended, Cardinals, that we're just destined to be the lovable losers. Okay. The jobber. We just lay down and die and have bad things happen to us. The Frankie DeFalcos of the world when he was in the WWE. One of those things. Kenny J. Sodbuster. Who was that? George Scrap Iron Kadaski. Sodbuster was Kenny J. We just find ways to lose and just, my God, I just have a tough time watching that game last time. Our closer on the hill, Devin Williams, blown 1 game, okay? And again, weak contact. That first base hit that dropped amongst 3 fielders in short right field. As soon as that dropped in, I was like, oh boy, here we go. And the weak contact continued. 2 strikes. They couldn't get Tauchman out. And he delivers that bloop to right in front of Yelich in left field. 2-run score. And then Tauchman scores from second base on the throwing error by B.A. That Owen Miller should have grabbed, let's face it, but make a better throw. You got to win a game that Adrian Hauser goes out there and gives you what he did. 5 innings, over 100 pitches, 23 pitches in the first inning. But, I mean, this is Adrian Hauser. That's fine. Held him to 1 run. Okay. Held him 1 run until the explosion in the 9th inning. It wasn't really an explosion. It was a comedy of errors. Piamps. Man, does he have closer stuff. I told you early in the season when that guy was pitching, I did not have a lot of faith in him. But, boy, he's some of his stuff is wicked, man. Wow. He got that under control. He's been at a few different stops, but he's found it here. I like him. Now, would I still like to get a veteran setup guy? Yeah, absolutely. Not like the Brewers did last year with Matt Bush. We can do better than that, please. But Piamps, great 8th inning. Hobie Milner, he did his job. Okay. Hauser did his job. Adames, a solo home run to put him up 2-1 in the 6th inning. Adames comes through. Yelich has 2 hits. You kind of like to see him come through in the bottom of the 9th inning when the Brewers went 1-2-3, but a little weak fly out. Yelich hitting 377 in his last 20 games. 2 hits last night, up to 288. He's rocketed that average up. So that's it. I mean, how much more can we talk about his second blown save? Another one bites the dust for the Brewers. 3 losses since last Friday. All winnable games. 2 games behind the Cincinnati Reds, who just keep winning. Reds just find ways to win, stealing bases, aggressive base running that they do. I was watching their game again, taking the extra base, stretching singles and the doubles and the triples, not doing stupid things out there either. They're in town this weekend. By the way, thanks for making Locked On Brewers your first listen to every day. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot. This show is brought to you by Sleeper. If I can find my glasses here, Sleeper is a great new sponsor of us right here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Swing for the fences on Sleeper Picks. You could win up to 100 times your money. Download the Sleeper app. Use the promo code LOCKEDON. You'll get a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms for use of details. Currently operational in over 30 states. Check out Sleeper today. Brewers and Cubs wind up the 3-game series Thursday afternoon. This afternoon, 1:10. If you're not going to be out there, we'll see if the roof is open. Should be a nice day out there. I see a little cloudy out here in the morning, but Brewers and Cubs, Sirius XM, the SXM app, your hometown broadcast, 1:10 coming up this afternoon. We'll talk about Rowdy going on the injured list. We'll get to that coming up next. Preview today's game. Brewers are done with Mike Brasso, and a few other things as well. We'll also preview Thursday's game with Freddie Peralta on the hill. All that coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Welcome back to Locked On Brewers. Your host, Chuck Freeman here. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on the various platforms, Google, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. We're all there. Downloading us on YouTube as well. Hit Locked On Brewers on the search button. Look for it. And we're there. Subscribe. Hit that like button. It'll alert you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. Yeah, I am kind of in a dour mood today because I don't know what to expect today. I mean, it's like we're getting the late innings in games, cutting through some of these games. Some of them come from behinds, and then having that carpet pulled right out from underneath. I mean, what do we expect today? How is it going to go today for our Milwaukee Brewers? I know Rowdy Tellez won't be in the lineup. He's got a forearm injury, forearm soreness. We're just learning right now. He says he is. I mean, I'm going to go what they say. I don't know if they're giving him a 10-day rest. He says he's not going to be on this injury list for more than 10 days. That's from him himself. 1 home run since May 23rd, right before Memorial Day. 1 home run. That's terrible. That is awful. That's the Wayne Kuiper territory right there. Rowdy Tellez. Apparently the forearm is giving us some problems. So has this been, for the last 7 weeks, been an issue? Because Rowdy's been struggling all year long. All right. And Owen Miller is not the first. I mean, I like Owen, but he's not a first baseman. And I'm tired of him playing first base. Don't play him at first base. You can't play him at third base either as well. As a professional at bat that Owen gives the team, man, sometimes in the fielding position, just brutal. And I know we love our Wisconsin guys, just Mozaki, but I'm not going to cut him some slack because he can't field that one hopper yesterday from Brian Anderson. The Brewers now have had 50 players on their roster. This is something they did in 2018. They do it every year. They trade guys in and out. They DFA guys and bring them back. And then Brasso's DFA'd. He's been just terrible down in Nashville. They released Pannone. They just signed him like a week and a half ago. Brought him up, pitched, sent him back down, was doing well in Nashville. They just flat out released him. Even though he's pitching in Nashville, I don't know what Pannone did, because he was pitching well down in Nashville. He's 29 years old. Just flat out released him. They brought him up here. He must have said something to somebody or what, but I don't know. But there's a reason why he's 28, 29 years old, bouncing around a little bit. Had a cup of coffee with the Toronto Blue Jays. But Mejia looked good yesterday. Got in that game. I mean, I like him better than Matt, but why did we bring him up? Why were we not bringing in Mejia instead of Matt Bush? Why? Again, who made these decisions? I want to know. Keston Hiura continues to rake. He's got 14 homers down in Nashville, and he's been injured for about 6-7 weeks or so. He was hurt. 14 homers. That's my leading candidate right now for first base. Keston Hiura. I think a lot of you are on board of that as well. Keston played everyday first baseman, everyday first, or they brought him up here to play some first I don't think anybody would be opposed to it because anything is better than 213 over there. Although Keston's got some defensive issues as well. Never quite learned that first base spot, but I'm taking all options at this point. Alex Hall for the Timber Rattlers last night. 9 RBIs through like 6 innings too. Set a Timber Rattler record last night. How about Craig Counsell? Didn't want to get into the roof issue. This is not a roof issue. That's a great way to avoid that. That's not your problem. That's the Cubs. The Cubs continue to bark about that, closing and opening the roof. David Ross has got bigger things to worry about, like getting his team, like keeping his job. Okay, but worrying about a roof. Play baseball. You know, David Ross is supposed to be this hard-nosed baseball guy. You know, play the game the right way. What are you doing complaining about the roof every day? Get over it. I feel like the Cubs have been here for like a month. I'm tired of seeing Tauchman. I'm tired of seeing all those guys. They've been here since Monday, but I feel like this has been like a 15-game series against these guys. Let's be done with these guys for a while, can we? When's the last time we played? Next time we play the Cubs, because I'm just tired of seeing the Cubs. Just tired of it. Now Brewers won on Monday, but the last 2 games have been a disaster. They're going to face Stroman later on today. See how St. Louis got beat last night? That was the one joy that I took a little solace in last night. Seeing the Cardinals give up 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning when their pitcher couldn't field a chopper back to the mound, threw over the first baseman's head. I said, it almost looked like he did that on purpose. Almost. But my goodness, and the Reds continue to win. 2 games behind the Reds play tonight. Freddie Peralta on the hill. We're going to get to him coming up here in a little bit. We'll talk about Freddie's start tonight and this afternoon and facing a pretty good Marcus Stroman. Marcus Stroman off to a terrific start. I always liked him when he played Toronto. We'll get to that coming up a little bit. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. A show brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper is a fantasy sports plus real money gaming app focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Sleeper has become the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world while earning some of the highest levels of engagement per user. At Sleeper, it's just not about sports. It's about building personal connections and lasting memories. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick higher or lower than predicted stats. Only on Sleeper, you can get 100 times payouts. That's something really, really good. And plus, share with your friends and get rewarded together. All right, you need to swing to the fences on these Sleeper picks. It's really cool. Checked out the game last night. Wow. Pretty awesome. Again, you can win up to 100 times your payouts, can place in-game contests, a lot of stat categories, home runs, triples, stolen bases, all that. Dynamic payouts are live, built-in group check functionality where you can see and copy your group's picks with the app and the tap of just one button. Entries can be made in 30 seconds or less. Very easy. You don't have to go through a million steps. Safe and fast withdrawals. Currently operational in over 30 states. Check this out. Download the app, Sleeper. And first-time depositors can receive 100% instant deposit. Match up to $100 using promo code LOCKEDON. Locked On. Download the app today. Don't forget to use the promo code LOCKEDON upon sign up for an instant deposit match of up to $100. Swing for the fences with Sleeper. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Thank you, everybody. Join us on Spotify, Google, Apple, all your audio downloads as you head to the ballpark and you drive around town, pick up your significant other from work. You know, you don't want to listen to that significant other. Turn to your boy Freeman here. Your boy Freeman will take you covered with 30 minutes of Brewers news every day, news and commentary right here on Locked On Brewers. A lot of you, I'd say, we get a lot of downloads on our YouTube app. Go to Locked On Brewers. You can put this right on your TV, the smart TVs. You want to see me on 50 or 60 inches? Go to Locked On Brewers on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we're good. Of course, always follow me on Twitter, Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. We're coming right back here on Locked On Brewers. Welcome back to Locked On Brewers. Your host, Chuck Freeman. Thanks, everybody, joining us here on a Thursday, a short week for a lot of you. And, of course, in Wisconsin, where I am, it's vacation land. A lot of you take all week off here in the upper Midwest, going to your cabins and all that. The freeways are filled, going to Brewer games, getting frustrated like I am watching things happen like today. Brewers and Cubs, the hometown broadcast, Sirius XM, the SXM app, search Brewers, and Cubs 110 this afternoon on Locked On Brewers. Marcus Stroman on Sirius XM. Marcus Stroman, the all-star, pitches against Freddie Peralta for the Brewers. Decent pitching matchup. Really like this pitching matchup. But regardless of the pitching matchup, and by the way, the Brewers said they put great at-bats against Justin Steele yesterday. They had 4 hits through 7 innings. 4 hits through 7 innings. 3 runs. Is that where we're at with the Brewers? Oh, 3 runs. Oh, you put some good at-bats against it. No, you didn't. You scored 3 runs. I know he's an all-star too, but still. He had 4 hits through 7 innings. Justin Steele is not Sandy Koufax. Not Sandy Koufax. Stroman against Peralta, 110 with that first pitch out at AmFam Field. All right, let's get a couple of your tweets here. See what you had to say. A lot of you. Jason says they're never going to win a ring. That's how I started the show. Maybe we're just snake bitten as Brewer fans, that the best they can do is go into the NLCS and winning a division title. Maybe that's just it. David says it's about contact. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it. Yeah, well, that soft contact was flying all around in the 9th inning for them. Matt says, so glad I passed on MLB TV this season. Saved a bunch of money. You know, every day I'm like today, I'm like, God, last night I was just so done watching the Brewers. You know, it's my job, but I'm just like, I'm so done. And then here I am right back next day. Get home. Bally Sports is on, watching the guys doing the pregame. And I'm right back at it again. Matt says, the saddest thing is that Craig will win a World Series, but with another team. Can't expect the guy to keep trying to make lemonade, we'll say. Mark says, worst franchise in MLB. Well, let's face it. In the last 54 years, as much as we love the Brewers are because maybe the most pathetic franchise out there in pro sports, considering I don't want to hear they made the playoffs all these years and from the 5 of the last 6 or something like that. No, don't want to hear that. Jake says, he's talking about Owen Miller here. Any regular positional first baseman makes that dig, but the organization continues just to patch things together at that position since Prince left. Yeah, exactly. How come we can't get ourselves a first baseman? All right. Rowdy is supposed to be a platoon player, not an everyday guy. Scotty Moe says this game is why I don't watch the Brewers seriously or choose to invest my time in them. Now, Scotty, come on. You say that now. You just like you wrote this last night, but you're just like me, Scotty. I'll be right out there watching them again too. That's what I was saying a little while ago. You get so ticked off and you're done with them, then it comes game time. It's like, well, going. I'm already trying to find what day I'm going to go this weekend when they're playing the Reds. Even if they completely get destroyed today or find a way to lose, I'll be right back in that Red Series this weekend. What's new? This team just stinks, says Jody. Salvador says Miller's got to be one of the worst fielding players in MLB. Paul says Steve Sachs thinks it might be a problem. Kevin, when I was talking about the Cardinals, yeah, the Cardinals always seem to get hot later in the season. Man, 51 losses already, though. 51 losses. They might be burying themselves to a point where maybe they can't catch up. Although they came back in 2011 when they were counted out, ended up going to the postseason and winning the World Series. All right. Yeah, I know. 2 games out. Don't be falling behind the Cincinnati Reds too much, okay? There's not going to be a wild card berth to be had this year with the Milwaukee Brewers, not from this division. They're just not going to, okay? You either win the division or you're not going to the postseason. That's what I believe it's going to be. Either win this division or you're not going to the postseason. Let's get it done today. Let's get back in front of those TV sets at 110 or out at the ballpark and enjoy a beautiful afternoon and hopefully gain a split of a series that the Brewers should be going for the sweep of. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers on the Locked On Podcast Network. So long, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have yourself a great day.